I came to the AELP conference just to talk about the role of unionlearn and unions in learning and skills, and also to put over the message that there needs to be now much more co-investment between individual employers, individual learners, trade unions and providers, because obviously there's been a significant cut in state support for adult learning and skills. So there are a number of ways in which unions can help on learning and skills. The first thing is we have a union learning fund, which was being set up by the last government, but has been continued by this present government, and that basically funds lots of union-led projects in partnership with colleges, providers, and of course employers, in order to increase the awareness and take-up of learning by learners that often have got either low or no qualifications. The second, if you like, pillar of what we do is the union learning reps. We've trained 26,000 union learning reps, and they're accredited nationally, and they basically, their task is to give information and advice to learners, to work in learning centres, often with training managers, and to sometimes help with learning skills analysis. So these are very important, if you like, ground troops for improving learning opportunities for the workforce in general. So the important thing in co-investment is that if unions start putting contributions in as regards time, ULRs, then employers will also start putting contributions in form of time off for training, setting up learning centres. Providers often provide tutors for the learning centres, and also they might have free taster courses, etc. So the whole thing is basically a massive contribution, and this is often underpinned by learning agreements between employers and unions. The greatest impact of unionlearn is in those workplaces where there are learning agreements. So we did a great big survey, Leeds University Business School did it for us, on employer views on the impact of union learning. And it was very, very positive indeed by the employers, and it also gave an indication that employers wanted to sustain this supporting activity even when the actual Union Learning Fund projects had finished. So I think that's a very positive, if you like, message which are coming from the employers as well as from the unions.
So, can workplace learning be the best learning?
Well, we think it can be the best learning, provided it is not so too job specific. There was a very good example of one company, for instance, that was doing a lot of joint learning activity with the unions, whereby they were actually funding Pilates courses. And the employer was saying, we're quite happy to do this because the construction workers that were doing these courses actually, as a result of that, had less repetitive strain injuries. Their sickness absence improved tremendously, and that had an added effect on productivity. So it's not just about NVQs and ICT, it's also beneficial to employers often if there's personal development activities are also funded. This often increases staff morale, and there's lots of evidence to say that basically employee-employer relations are improved, as well as general industrial relations. So it's wider than learning.